Why does that one person stay in your mind no matter how much time has passed? Have you ever felt that quiet kind of mental exhaustion when someone keeps showing up in your thoughts? An ex who still appears in your dreams even years later. A colleague whose words replay long after the day is done. Or someone who hurt you, whose face suddenly appears when you least expect it. There is a deeper reason for this, and today we're going to gently explore what Zen Buddhism has taught for thousands of years about this exact experience. These teachings are ancient, yet they feel almost uncomfortably relevant to modern life. They don't just explain what's happening inside your mind, they offer a path to finally feel free again. In this video, you'll discover 7 clear reasons why someone continues to live in your thoughts and the quiet, powerful ways Buddhism suggests you can release their hold. And stay with me until the 7th reason. It has the power to completely shift how you see the people who linger in your mind. Before we begin, take a moment to subscribe to the Peace Grove channel so you don't miss future reflections on inner peace and spiritual growth. Now, let's begin. The first reason is something that often disguises itself as love. When someone is always on your mind, it can feel like deep affection, like you simply care too much to let go. But Zen Buddhism invites us to look closer. True love feels calm. Attachment feels restless. If thinking about this person brings anxiety, jealousy, or the urge to check on them constantly, then what you're feeling may not be love in its pure form. It may be attachment. The Buddha taught that attachment is the root of suffering, and this becomes especially clear in relationships. You may not be thinking about them because of love alone, but because your sense of identity, your worth, or even your future happiness became tied to them, and so your mind returns again and again.
Notice this gently. Is there fear beneath the thoughts? Fear of losing them? A need for their validation? A longing for what once was? This is not the stillness of love. This is the turbulence of attachment. Zen masters once said, holding on to attachment is like holding a burning coal, hoping to throw it at someone else. But you are the one who gets burned. If their presence in your mind feels more like heat than warmth, this may be attachment speaking. And healing begins simply by seeing it clearly. The second reason is something more subtle, something unfinished. In Buddhism, this is often described as karma, not as punishment, but as something incomplete. When someone won't leave your thoughts, it may mean there is something unresolved between you. Perhaps they hurt you, and the pain was never fully felt or processed. Perhaps you hurt them, and some quiet guilt remains beneath the surface. Or maybe they were meant to teach you something that you haven't yet fully understood. This creates a kind of invisible pull, like a thread that hasn't been tied off. Your mind returns to them not to torture you, but to complete something. So instead of asking, "Why can't I forget them?" try asking, "What is still unfinished here? What feeling have I not allowed myself to fully face? What truth am I avoiding?" Sometimes the thought itself is not the problem. It's pointing you toward the healing. The third reason comes from within more than from them. Zen Buddhism, much like certain forms of psychology, teaches that we all carry a shadow, parts of ourselves we don't fully accept. And often, the people who stay in our thoughts are reflecting those hidden parts.
If someone's confidence keeps drawing your attention, perhaps it's because your own confidence has been pushed aside. If their flaws bother you deeply, It may be touching something unacknowledged within yourself. Your mind begins to use them like a mirror or even a screen projecting something deeper. This is why they feel so hard to let go. So gently ask yourself, what is it about them that affects me the most? The answer may not be about them at all, but about a part of you that is asking to be seen. And when you begin to reclaim that part, their grip on your thoughts softens. The fourth reason is attachment, not to the person, but to an outcome. Maybe a part of you is still holding on to something that didn't happen, a reconciliation, an apology, a moment of recognition, or a different ending to the story. Your mind keeps replaying scenarios, trying to reach that desired outcome, and this creates a loop. Zen speaks of something called beginner's mind, meeting each moment without expectation. But here, the mind is doing the opposite, holding tightly to what should have been. If your thoughts about them always lead to the same imagined ending, this may be why they keep returning. And the practice here is quiet but powerful, learning to accept what is, even when it's not what you hoped for. I truly hope something here is resonating with you. If it is, consider supporting the peace growth by subscribing and sharing this with someone who might need it. Your support helps these teachings reach more people seeking peace. The fifth reason is something very subtle but deeply important.
It's the habit of believing your thoughts. Buddhism teaches that you are not your thoughts, but when someone lives in your mind, it often means you've started to treat those thoughts as truth. Each thought about them feels important, meaningful, real, and the more you believe them, the more they return. It becomes a cycle. But there is a small shift you can try. Instead of saying, "I miss them," notice there is a thought about missing them. This creates space. You are no longer inside the thought, you are observing it, like watching clouds move across the sky. Zen masters describe this as standing by the river, watching the current, instead of being swept away by it. And in that space, the thought begins to lose its power. The sixth reason is something we often forget. Nothing lasts forever, not even this. Buddhism teaches impermanence, that everything is always changing. But when someone fills your thoughts, it can feel like it will always be this way, like the longing or the pain will never fade. This belief gives the thought more weight, more permanence than it actually has. But in truth, every feeling changes, every memory softens, every intensity fades. When you truly understand this, not just intellectually, but deeply, something begins to loosen. You don't have to force the thoughts away, you simply stop believing they will stay forever.
And slowly, naturally, they begin to pass. And now, the seventh reason. This one invites you to see everything differently. What if this person is not just someone from your past, but part of your path? In Buddhist thought, some connections are seen as spiritual assignments, meetings that happen for growth, for awakening. So if someone remains in your thoughts, even after time and distance, it may not be a mistake. It may be something still unfolding within you. Instead of asking, "How do I stop thinking about them?" you might ask, "What is this trying to awaken in me?" This transforms everything. They are no longer just a source of pain, but a doorway. Sometimes the most difficult connections carry the deepest lessons, and perhaps they remain not because something is wrong, but because something meaningful is still taking shape inside you. Now let's gently walk through the Buddhist path to finding peace with all of this. First, practice simple awareness. When thoughts of them arise, don't fight them. Don't judge yourself. Just notice, softly, like watching leaves drift on water. What you resist tends to stay. What you observe begins to change. Second, explore with kindness. Ask yourself what keeps bringing them back, but do it gently, without blame. Understanding doesn't come from harshness, it comes from curiosity.
Third, allow letting go to happen naturally. You don't have to force yourself to forget. Instead, loosen your grip, like holding something in open hands instead of clenching it tightly. Fourth, return to the present. When they come to mind, use it as a small signal, a reminder to come back to now. Take a breath. Feel your body. Notice where you are. Over time, the thought becomes less of a trap and more of a doorway. Fifth, practice loving kindness. Wish peace not only for yourself, but for them as well. Quietly say, "May I be at peace. May they be at peace." This softens the emotional weight and transforms attachment into compassion. And finally, remember this image. Your mind is like a river, and this person is like a stone dropped into it. At first, there are ripples, disturbances, waves, but if the river keeps flowing, either the stone settles, becoming part of the riverbed, or it is gently carried away. You don't have to force anything, just let the river move. As the Buddha taught, nothing should be clung to as me or mine, not even our thoughts about others. When someone won't leave your mind, the path is not to fight the thoughts, but to change how you meet them. Your mind is vast, like the open sky, and this person is only a passing cloud. Through awareness, what once felt like suffering becomes a path to freedom. Thank you for being here with the Peace Grove and sharing this quiet journey. If this spoke to you, stay connected for more reflections on inner peace. Until next time, may you find calm with every thought that visits your mind, and may you see that each one carries a quiet gift.